Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Oh, I have a bug up here. It's Sunday, and I am here at the house today. It is an overcast day so far. It's been sprinkling on and off, um, but it is a relief from the days that we've been having. I mean, grocery stores are having a heck of a time keeping coolers and air conditioners running. Even people out here are having a hard time keeping themselves cool. I'm doing extra things for my birds, for my dogs. Um, it's just part of it. And the summers are going to start getting worse and worse and worse. But we're not going to talk about that. I am going to show you my harvest. I just poked myself. Here are two cucumbers. These are going to go to refrigerator pickles. Here are some zucchinis. These are absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, perfect zucchinis. Beautiful. So we're going to have some stir fries with these, and my plants are going to continue to produce. So the first of the first, we're going to eat it right away. I want to talk about a few things though with my garden first, and then we're going to talk about chickens. So hot. It's so humid. I'm sitting here sweating, even though the sun is not out. But whatever. Okay, so zucchinis and cucumbers are doing good right now. I don't know how good they're going to be doing after a while. I do need to plant a couple more, but there's no room in my garden. I do have some failures in my garden. Brussels sprouts and cabbage because something ate them completely, just ate them. I do have some chipmunks, and I watched them the other day going through the chicken wire fence, just slipping right through there. My husband has them in the garage. I have them up in the brooder barn. So chipmunks are a galore around here, and I don't mind. But they're giving me heck on some of my plants. Successes would be tomato plants. My tomato plants are crazy. I only have 8 tomato plants in that one side of the garden, 4 yellow, 4 red. I've never dealt with these specific types of tomatoes before, but I decided I did have the hog panel put in the middle, and I was going to tie and prune and make them all pretty and everything. And as the rain was hitting, I was like, you know what? Why not take advantage of allowing these tomatoes to go wild? Any weeds underneath there is going to be great for the tomato fruit so that they're not touching the ground. I was going to put my straw in there, but I was kind of waiting a little bit. Well, guess what? We let them go wild because I think this is going to be the best way to maximize production out of these 8 plants. The cherry tomato plants are going crazy. I have voluntary plants going crazy. As a matter of fact, I could just spit because someone, a chicken or a dog, not sure which, um, pulled down the great big voluntary cherry tomato plant or tomato plant. It's starting to rain again. So anyway, I gotta hurry. But anyway, they tore that one down. But we're gonna have plenty of tomatoes. That is a success this year, I think, so far. Um, Now, what I want to plant for my fall gardens are beans. I want a lot of green beans. My green beans didn't do that well. I just stuck them here and there because I knew everything else was going to go crazy. And I wanted some major crops, which is obviously tomatoes. I need some more pepper plants. I'd like to plant some more pepper plants if I could. Um, my tomato plants, I need to go in there and kind of move them off my pepper plants because they have come out. But the tomato plants, I've let them go wild, and I think we're just going to have an amazing amount of tomatoes this year. I hope, as long as it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I mean, failure, success. But I do need to get some things growing for fall, and I'm thinking beans, more cucumbers, and more zucchini. Um, Definitely, they like this soil. Other things are not liking the soil; it's too acidic. And so next year, I'm going to amend some of my pots to make them a little more better for ground type growing. I didn't grow anything um, tuber wise in this area because it is so composted. Okay. It's too composted for carrots and radishes and potatoes and beets and all of those things that I would love to have that I didn't grow. So there's also a chance that I might, when these zucchinis and cucumbers stop, I might pull them from that, amend that soil, and maybe plant some of those and see if I can do that for my fall planting. I don't know. It depends on what happens. I'm letting this little garden area decide for itself what's going on. Um, I cabbage and Brussels sprouts I can live without. Zucchini, cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers. Those are my major goals. I can always find onions. I can always find potatoes at a decent price. I can always find carrots at a decent price without having to grow them. So, those kind of things, not really concerned about. But what I do realize and what I have noticed is they have not had any um, bell peppers in any of the reduced produce at the Kroger that I go to. Haven't seen them in a while. Of course, I'm not feeding them to animals anymore, so it's just basically for myself. Um, but anyway, not finding it. So I'm going to start collecting bell peppers from the grocery store. I'm going to do some diced, I'm going to do some julienne, and we're going to start freezing those. But with all of that chicken that I reconned, my freezer is packed. It is packed. Okay, so I really want to talk about my chickens for a minute. Okay, so I still have four Indio gigantas, and I need to show you these birds. I keep forgetting to show them because they're up there now, and I don't film down. You need to see these birds. Um, they were solid colored. They got their solid color feathers in, and then now they have white speckled feathers or white feathers speckled in with the other feathers. They're very unique. Now, two out of the four are perfect. Everything's perfect about them. Their feet are perfect. Their legs are perfect. Everything's perfect. One has a toe problem, whether she broke it or she just I don't know. But she's had that for quite a while. I'm thinking she got it tangled somewhere when she was in the brooder barn as far as there better not it's a blue jay. I was gonna say there better not be a chicken in my garden. Ooh. Anyway, the last one that hatched, we knew had some issues. I knew it's a boy because he had a little rooster attitude. He has a problem with one of his legs, and I knew he was going to be the iffy one out of the whole group. But he manages very well. He gets up, he does his thing, and then he just goes and lays down. Or he'll lay down next to the food bowl, lay down, kind of like Stilts. Only I think his is a little different. Um, Stilts actually hurt his. That's the little turkey that had the prolapsed rectum or whatever it was that he's grown out of, but now has an injured leg. So, anyway, I need to show you these Indios. I think what I'm going to do is choose the two if they're hens and move them in with the three and kind of let them. Now, remember, I also have one of mine up there. Um, so that one will also go in with that group. Now, if they're hens, they are going to be with those three, and we are going to pull Raw, and Raw will be that rooster. Now, whatever roosters I get, I may sell to another guy. Um, I may sell the rooster. It depends on who it is, because if it's the brown one, it's a sweet bird. It likes mommy. It likes to sit in my hand. It still comes to me. So we'll see about that. I do need to move them though. I want to take them out of the brooder barn because I want to put the quail up there, and I also want to put Stilts up there. Um, and those three hens, I think I can move them with the Indios, and then they can kind of lead them around. We're going to change their living arrangements. It's going to be really hard on those three little girls because they have their routine. I just open up the door, they come out in the morning, at night they go back in, they go to bed. So they're doing really well. Everybody is going back to their spots at night. The only animal I have a problem with is Gandalf. I have to go catch him. And last night I just caught him and carried him all the way to the barn, into the barn, and I put him in that small center um, stall, and he laid down. It was so nice. Since he lays down, I have to really make sure that I keep the stalls clean. Now, the birds that roost and poop, and that's all they do in there, I need to scrape them out. But I don't have to really worry about keeping them for hygiene purposes. I have to keep them clean just because I should keep them clean, but I don't have to worry about everybody having to lay in the hooey. But with Gandalf, I do. And I've almost considered putting Gandalf into the brooder barn with stilts because that was his old spot too, which would also keep those three and a couple. But then I need to clear out the brooder barn at the end of the season so that I can use it for whatever else I need. A winter home for Gandalf, maybe, and stilts. But I need to get those three little girls hooked up with the seven little girls and the Indios. So that's where I'm at right now with my chickens. But I do want to tell you something. If you're going to go and buy hens, say you decided, hey, you know what? I would like to have 3 or 4 chickens. I only want hens. I've got a small little coop. They have the backyard to range in. Who am I and where am I going to find hens? Well, in my opinion, you should find someone local, someone who cares about their chickens. This is how I sell my chickens. If you don't want to buy my chickens, it doesn't break my heart because I love all of them no matter what. So if I sell you a chicken, I love that chicken. I have spent time with that chicken. I have molded that chicken. I have hatched that chicken. I have fed that chicken. I have trained that chicken. I have corralled that chicken into a routine. And if you don't want it, it's not breaking my heart. But if you want one of my chickens, this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come and look at the chickens and I'm going to show you what chickens are available. And then you're going to have to come back the next day to get the chickens. Why? Because I don't want to stress these birds out. I don't want to sell you a stressed bird. And if you just follow a little bit of protocol, it will make the difference of how your bird transfers to your home. You get it? I mean, I had someone who just wanted to buy chickens. Oh, you have some hens? Number one, they didn't want to give $20 a piece for them because they're looking for a cheap chicken. Well, then go buy some chicks and deal with it yourself. Okay. Number two, well, if I come and look at the chickens, I'm just going to take the ones I get. Well, no, you're not because I don't want to sell you stress birds and I don't want to stress the birds out themselves. So then, well, would you come down on the birds a little bit? No, I won't. Do you have any setting hens? I do. Well, do you have one of those that I can just have one of those? No, you can't just have one of my setting hens. You're going to have to buy 2 hens, someone that she is associated with and her. And I probably should charge more for a setting hen, but I don't. I'm sorry. If you're looking for just a battery type chicken, which means something that you're going to just produce, you're going to leave them in a coop, you're going to just feed them and get eggs from them, and you're not going to allow them to free range, and you're not going to give them a quality of life, and you're just thinking of them as little livestocks, I'm probably not the person to come to. Go to a sale, go to the flea markets, go to the livestock sales. That would be my suggestion if that's what you want. If you want a chicken who has been hand raised, hand hatched, trained, and loved and treated with respect, then come buy one of my chickens and you'll get your money's worth. You'll have a great day. Hugs from distance. I need to get going. Bye, y'all.